Billionaire's bowl of noodles. All it took was one bite of fried rice noodles from a random street vendor and the billionaire froze. That taste, it was unmistakable. The same flavor only one person in the world ever mastered, his late wife. Years ago, when they were young and broke, his wife would cook this exact dish for him. He always encouraged her to open her own food stall. That dream never happened, and she passed away before it could. Shaken by the taste, he asked the young vendor where he learned to cook like that. The boy smiled and said, "My mom taught me." The billionaire's heart skipped. He immediately asked who his mother was. Years earlier, before he became wealthy, the man had left his hometown to study abroad. Before leaving, he told his eldest son to take care of his wife and younger son. He sent home 300,000 yen every month to support them. But greed changed everything. The eldest son told everyone that their father had died. He kept all the money for himself, refused to pay his brother's college tuition, and kicked their sick mother and little brother out of the house. The father returned, successful and humble in appearance. The eldest son assumed he was broke, but figured he might still have some savings. So, pretending to be respectful, he welcomed his father inside. The father immediately asked about his wife and younger son. Afraid of losing his inheritance, the eldest son lied, said they'd both died in a car crash. Devastated, the father begged to visit their graves, but his son and daughter-in-law stalled, saying he should rest after a long flight. That night, they rifled through his suitcase and only found a savings book with 1 million yuan. Disappointed, they decided he wasn't worth the trouble anymore. The next morning, they told him to hand over another million or get out. Thrown out by his own son, the man wandered the streets, not knowing where to go, until he stumbled across the fried noodle stall. The taste pulled him back decades. With trembling hands, he asked to see the boy's mother's photo, but the boy only had a single family portrait. Just then, a kind stranger overpaid for a meal, knowing the boy's mom was sick. The boy ran after him to return the extra cash. The billionaire, learning the boy was a college student working to fund his mom's surgery, immediately transferred money to his account. The boy tried to give it back, but the man insisted, telling him to keep it and pay him back only if he could. The next day, the boy's mom, upon learning her son had borrowed money for her operation, was overwhelmed with guilt. He comforted her, assuring her everything was fine as she entered surgery. Meanwhile, the billionaire returned to his eldest son's home one more time, begging to know where his wife and younger son were buried. The son shoved him away with insults and even kicked him while he was down. That moment of cruelty made the billionaire realize, leaving his company to the son would be a tragic mistake. Heartbroken, he wandered again and ended up back at the noodle stall. The boy told him his mom's surgery was a success. Grateful, the boy offered to help him find his family's graves. The billionaire stared at the boy, something about him felt familiar. He asked what the boy's father did for a living. The boy, remembering his mother's instructions, replied vaguely, "Just a regular worker." The billionaire's heart sank. Later, he found out that a major company run by his eldest son had been seeking a partnership with him. He vowed never to work with them. The boy, still eager to help, drove the billionaire on his electric scooter from one cemetery to another, hoping to find the graves. But none matched. Defeated, they returned home. Still clinging to a shred of hope, the billionaire visited his eldest son's home once again, only to be blocked by in-laws. A heated argument broke out, and his son appeared shouting, insulting, and beating him before storming off. Broken and bloodied, the billionaire called the boy at the hospital and asked him to pick him up from the villa district. When the boy's mother heard who needed help, she insisted he go right away. At the hospital, the boy brought the injured billionaire in for treatment. Later, his mother, now recovering from surgery, insisted on visiting her son's mysterious benefactor. She slowly opened the hospital room door and froze.